Hey IGT fam from AIESEC DLSU, how are you? My name is Dennis. I'm coming to you from beautiful Auckland, New Zealand. Waiting for you guys to come and visit me sometime, yeah? But yeah, hard to think just a week ago, I was still in Manila, the Philippines, having the time of my life. I was an EP, a GE EP hosted by you guys. I was working at the startup called Acudine Technologies. Maybe you guys know the place. But anyway, I'm not here to talk to you today about my experience, but I think more so to share why I think it's so important for you guys to start going out there, working your asses off, matching more EPs, and really making the next summer peak happen. Um, I think first things first, you guys already know this, but any EP who applies for an opportunity to AIESEC and DLSU or the Philippines in general, they are most likely having already applied for several other countries, numerous opportunities. They probably applied for internships outside of AIESEC and domestically within their own country. So in that sense, you are fighting for every EP who is applying for your opportunity. Just because they applied doesn't mean they're going to go to your country as a given, right? Or go to your LC 100%. And this is why the time that you get these EPs matched from the moment that they apply to match to realize is vitally important. This is called process time, and process time really, really, really matters. Throughout my experience, I was applying for the Philippines, Malaysia, and Singapore at the same time. And the thing that really pushed me over the edge to come to the Philippines was the process time because it was fast. I had my interview, although I was quite proactive myself in pushing the company as well. I had my interview within a couple of days and I was matched within a week and a half, 2 weeks. I was confirmed going to the Philippines, etc., etc. And this is not coincidence. Obviously, as I said, I was proactive in pushing and really finding out more. But at the same time, for Gia, who was helping me throughout the process, really helped, right? Every time I asked, hey, do you know when I'm gonna hear back from the company? Do you know when I should book my tickets? La la la. She would answer me straight away. Or if she didn't know, she would say, "Hey, I'll find out from the company tomorrow." Or if it was the weekend, the next week. This not only made things extremely fast, but it made me really believe in your LC, right? It made Gia sound like she knew what she was doing. I'm sure she knows what she's doing, but it really reinforced that and kind of made me trust and believe in your LC's ability to host me, right? Even though I was at the final stage of interviews for the other two internships that I applied for, I chose the Philippines because I said, hey, this was faster. You guys seem more trustworthy. At the same time, when every EP that you bring into the country, I think even though you're doing the work to bring them in, sometimes can be a little bit tedious. You have to remember that you are developing one leader. You are changing someone's life for the better. It's not just about hitting your goal, doing your work in AIESEC, or helping AIESEC until a cell grow or whatnot. It's also about helping your country really thrive forward towards the future. Because I think, honestly speaking, you guys know this as well. Philippines a lot of the time is not an EP's first choice. Maybe you even get a struggle to get applicants sometime. From a perspective of being an AIESEC in New Zealand for the last 3 years, we have very few people wanting to go to Philippines, and not because for our lack of promoting. It's just it's like when I went as well. My parents didn't want me to go to the Philippines. My friend said, "Why are you going to the Philippines? Have you seen the news? It's dangerous. It's dirty as a country." And obviously, these were misconceptions on my part, right? This is what I believe the Philippines to be before I went. And if I had not, if the process time was a little bit slow and I had gone to Singapore or Malaysia, I would have never known how beautiful Philippines as a country was, how friendly your people are, how tasty your food is, right? And I would never be able to come back to New Zealand and share my learnings with all my friends and my family and say, hey, Philippines is a great country. You should consider that for your next travel destination. You should work there. Not a lot of people, of course, have long-term plans to work in the Philippines, a career development paths there. So this is why IGT or IGE for you guys bringing more interns into the Philippines is even more important. It's for the long-term prosperity of your economic growth. And I know that sounds like a long stretch, but it is true, because if someone, for example, again, using myself as an example, I would have never thought about working in the Philippines, bring up a family, whatever there. But now, I'm not saying that I'm going to go back and work in the Philippines permanently, but I think it's definitely an option. It's a place I would suggest my friends to go. But it's not going to happen just by sitting on your asses and looking at every name that comes through and having to send that email, interview them, and saying, "Oh, I'll do it next week." It really comes down to each and every single one of you in the team to make it happen. If you guys could deliver the same experience, the same process time that Gia delivered to me, I'm sure you guys will be hugely successful. But if you sit there and say, "Hey, I'll interview this person next week," that person by that time may have changed their mind about the Philippines, and you will never be able to deliver that life-changing experience to them, and you will never be able to change that person's perception about your country, and in turn the tens and hundreds of people they could influence going back to their country. So guys, um, I don't think I need to say more about how important matching is, the process time, also going out there and really getting more applicants in the first place. This is the fun part of AIESEC anyway. You get to really meet, you get to really be, I guess, in the front line of talking to the people, or meeting people across the world, creating these partnerships and bonds with, with all these people. It's my favorite part of AIESEC. It's, never failed to entertain me, I guess. So I hope you guys enjoy it as well, and I wish you guys the best of luck in your summer peak. I'm hoping from AIESEC in New Zealand, we're going to be sending a few more people to you guys just in a few months and hearing some amazing experiences. All right. I don't know how to end this. Thank you. See you guys soon, and ingat.